What's up, Squadron 7? I have a completely different video for you. They just announced The Last of Us. They're doing an HBO TV series. Let's check out the teaser. You saw that, right? They didn't show much, but they had the Fireflies emblem. They did announce it on Twitter. Naughty Dog announced that they were working with HBO on a series for The Last of Us, and I'd be remiss if I didn't try to fan cast this. Now, I'm going to give my two top picks for who's going to play Ellie and Joel, the two most important characters in this series. Now, there are a lot of characters we could cast, and we could spend an hour talking about who could play every single character, but I'm going to just cast Ellie and Joel. Now, if you're not familiar with The Last of Us, the PlayStation exclusive, it is about the adventures of Ellie and Joel in a post-apocalyptic world where a cordyceps fungus infection spreads across the country, and it infects all of the human hosts, and they're called the Infected. Joel has to protect Ellie as he ventures across the country to deliver her to the Fireflies because she shows signs of immunity to this infection, and they're going to try to extract a vaccine from her. Throughout all this, we have emotions, heartbreak, tears, action, drama, mystery, intrigue, all of that, and it's surprising to say that a video game has all of that because Naughty Dog is very, very notorious for having such great narrative and such depth in their games where you feel like you're watching a movie, but you are also playing a game. So with that said, I'm going to start right now with Ellie, the spunky, rebellious teenager who often curses in the game, who's very real, very authentic, very genuine. She, has an attitude. My first pick for Ellie is Kaitlyn Dever. Now, she is a little bit over the age. She's currently 24 years old, and Ellie in the first game, is 14 years old. Now, she does look young for her age, so she could pass for Ellie.
I don't know anything about that.
How about you walk me through it again? Tell me exactly how the assault happened.
Again?
Now, I've only seen Kaitlyn Dever on Unbelievable on Netflix, and she is a remarkable actress. Her performance on that show is just incredible. And a lot of her character traits and her personality from Unbelievable does match up with Ellie. She's very spunky, she's very rebellious, and she has a lot of attitude, and she does come off as very snarky and very sarcastic. Continuing on that train of thought with spunky, rebellious teenager with attitude, my second pick for Ellie is Sadie Sink. Now, we all know Sadie Sink as Max from Stranger Things.
Maxine.
It's Max.
Sorry?
Nobody calls me Maxine. It's Max. From here on out, you leave me and my friends alone. Do you understand?
Screw you.
Said you understand!
And again, she's very spunky, she's a teenager. I think she's closer to the age of Ellie, and she looks like Ellie as well. Now, there's a strong freckles theme going on here, and that's because it's a very outward trait of Ellie's. And when I look at Sadie Sink on Stranger Things, I see a lot of Ellie in her when she's interacting with her brother, when she's acting with Lucas.
Holy shit, you should have seen the look on your faces. And you? Who screams like that? You sound like a little girl.
And that reminds me of a moment in the game where Ellie and Joel meet another pair of survivors, a father and a son, and she hits it off with that son. With that said, I think Lucas from Stranger Things can play that son. But that's for another video. Maybe we're going to expand further and see who we'll cast in all of the other character spots, but this is just Ellie and Joel. On to my two picks for Joel. One of these is very obvious for obvious reasons, but I'm going to start with my first pick, NIKOLAJ COSTER-WALDAU. He was a great actor on Game of Thrones, and he looks good in a beard, and it looks like Joel as well. His performance on Game of Thrones proves that he has the emotional range to play a character that's both complex, dynamic, has bravado, but his character on Game of Thrones is also capable of displaying emotional vulnerability. Couple that with how he resembles Joel in a way, that is why I came up with that pick. Now, my second pick for Joel, obviously, Hugh Jackman from Logan. Now, obviously, Logan was just The Last of Us with the Wolverine, Laura Kinney skin on top. We all know when we saw that movie, we were making constant comparisons between The Last of Us and Logan. And that's not to say Logan is a bad movie. It's a great movie. It was a brilliant movie and it deserves an Oscar. But the constant parallels between, Logan and Laura and Ellie and Joel are ever present in the movie. And we can see firsthand a great example of how he would play Joel in an HBO series about The Last of Us. A couple of honorable mentions here. I think Sophie Lillis would also make a great Ellie. She plays Beverly Marsh on It and It Chapter 2. She's also very spunky. She also has attitude, and she also is closer to Ellie's age. Another one for Joel could be Tom Hardy or even Joel Kinnaman. Joel Kinnaman in Edge of Winter also kind of mirrors a Joel experience. He's a father, he's trying to protect his family, and he's very disgruntled, very hardened, and very gruff in that movie, and I could see him playing Joel as well, and his name is Joel. But of course, let me know what you guys think. Squadron 7, come into the comment section down below. Tell me who you think should play Ellie and Joel in the Last of Us series, HBO series. Now, there's obviously the Ellen Page mentions, of course, and there's all kinds of actors who could play Joel with their gruffy beards and their tough exterior performances. But leave it in the comment section down below. Who do you think should play Ellie and Joel in The Last of Us? And of course, leave it in the comment section down below if you agree with my picks. In any case, that's my fan cast for The Last of Us. I can't wait for this series. It's going to be fantastic. Neil Druckmann is going to be on it. And, we've seen this resurgence in video game adaptations as of late. Sonic is a great example of a successful adaptation. And I can't wait to see how much character development we're going to see in this series, because this is long form storytelling. And a lot of people who have played the game have said that, minus the gameplay, just put all of the cutscenes together and you've got a great movie. There's a lot of obviously source material there, but there's a lot of foundation for them to build upon. And there's a lot of dynamic between Ellie and Joel, and there's a lot of character dynamic with everyone else in the game. And it'll be interesting to see what kind of story beats they hit, what kind of moments they can explore within a longer time frame where it's not kind of constrained by a 2 hour, 2.5 hour, 3 hour limit. And of course, the constraints in a video game where there has to be a win condition, or there has to be an end game where you beat the game and that's it, and there has to be an ending. So it's interesting to think that this could go on for multiple seasons. There could be newer characters. They can even go from The Last of Us to The Last of Us 2 in season 2, where Ellie's older, Joel is much older, and even introduce new characters going into season 3. It's just like everything's jumbling in my head right now, but the main point is this is a great time to be alive. This is a great time to be consuming all of this great material, and I can't wait for The Last of Us on HBO. Anyways, that's my fan cast, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to join Squadron 7. Squadron 7 report, and as always, turn on notifications so you know when we post new videos, and I'll see you in the next one.